time in, 0-0-2. Side out.
We are back live here at the Bobby Riggs Racket and Paddle Club in Encinitas for the SoCal Classic. We're watching a senior pro match. This match is the bronze medal men's senior pro doubles match between Scott Moore and Dave Weinbach versus Jose Derisi and Thongvanh. Derisi did very well to adjust in midair, it looked like, and get plenty of power down onto the ball.
0-0-1. Second server.
Scott Moore, obviously future Hall of Famer.
0-0-2.
Oh. And that two-handed backhand, it's relatively new to the arsenal of Moore.
Yes, I haven't seen Scott pull off a two-handed Ernie before.
No,
it's a first.
It is indeed. And Weinbach showing the kind of reflexes that made him famous on the men's pro tour. He is new to the senior bracket.
0-0-2.
Scott Moore has owned the senior bracket for many years. Only recently starting to find some real competition. Derisi and Thongvanh a little bit.
Is this one way to win a point?
Yes.
Friend or foe? That's what the net strap is.
Point.
Yeah.
2-0-2. Point.
Certainly did. That ball was high enough.
I think it actually surprised him
3-0-2.
how early he was on guessing right.
Side out.
And that ball just catching Weinbach on the way forward.
Yes, he overran that a little bit. It's better to be too fast as opposed to too slow.
Yes, certainly. And that ball is attacked down in a hurry. Great rally there. Assertive play.
0-3-2. Side out.
Derisi, Thongvanh just trying to find their rhythm on who's taking which ball.
Still feeling things out early.
3-0-1. Second server.
And that ball sailed wildly long.
As I like to say, it was very well struck.
3-0-2.
Very well struck.
That's a good ball.
Get in there.
I love it. Let's go.
Side out.
Boisterous group today.
Boisterous, yes.
Boy, that,
It's not just Rick Witzkin
yeah,
bringing the commentary.
maybe Derisi is Latin for something.
Point.
It's true.
He's a fiery soul, that guy.
Yes.
I like it.
1-3-1.
Okay, let's go, Joe.
Point. 2-3-1.
Great hand speed there. Scott Moore sitting on that attack, staying alive and putting the ball down quickly.
2-3-2. Side out. 3-2-1.
Yours. Let's go.
Second server.
Dave was trying to say no, meaning the ball was going to go out, but when you can't get out of the way of it, doesn't do any good to tell your partner to let it go.
3-2-2.
It's true.
The
That's
reality
true.
is Scott did exactly what Dave said.
Yep.
Let it go. You hit him.
Side out.
Moore looking to spread some wings and fly over that kitchen.
2-3-1. Point.
Okay. Trouble in paradise.
Yes, again,
And
Dave says he's got it, and Scott did exactly what Dave said, but
3-3-1.
yeah, and we'll have a timeout for a brief moment of relationship counseling. And it's not always easy when you've got two players that have been as dominant as Scott Moore and Dave Weinbach. They've had huge success, and unfortunately you've got a couple of alpha males barking at each other right now. They'll either figure it out or they won't.
yes, it's called teamwork for a reason. You
Takes
have to.
work.
It takes work.
Takes work.
It takes work to be a team, and oftentimes in the men's senior, the partners switch back and forth over and over again. We listened to Jennifer and Cammie. They've played together consistently for 6 straight years, and I think in my last 6 tournaments, I've had 6 different partners. So oftentimes it does take a little work to make a team.
Got it. Yours.
Let's go.
Point.
Fantastic attack from a low position. I'm not sure you'd say it was a high percentage attack, but
4-3-1.
definitely effective on that occasion.
Second
Yes,
server.
Jose was very good at attacking up on the ball, which means intentionally he was hitting it out, but Scott Moore was in the way of the back fence.
Indeed.
Side out.
Oh. And Derisi.
Second server.
Great athleticism to get back, to get enough power on the ball. Almost a skyhook kind of motion, but finds the breadbasket of Scott Moore. And he returns the favor.
Yes, stomach shot after stomach shot. Little right hook to the rib cage.
Point.
He's answering power with power. A lot
Indeed.
of people block those, but
Yeah.
he was going to put more on the ball than what was coming at him.
We see Weinbach and Moore stacking now to keep Moore on the left side.
Side out.
It's his preferred place. Everyone knows that. Let's see if they have a switch here. Looks like they're not going to be switching on this one.
4-5-1. I called the wrong football.
It was a foot fault. Yeah, we could see it from this angle.
Second server.
It was a leap of hope.
No, I saw it and called it. I said at the same time you did. We're good.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where I just want to go over and say, trust me, we saw it. Don't worry about it. It's not worth getting riled up.
4-5-2.
Still, close game. 4-5-2.
Point.
Scott Moore reaching quite far, and Derisi asking if they saw that.
That was
Oh.
the point.
It's all fun and games.
It is pickleball after all.
Let's stop. Wrong server. We have 4, no? You have 5. You got a point. You're in the wrong server and the wrong position.
Ooh, wrong server and wrong
Side
position.
out. Side out.
And that is a side out.
Well, all the argumentation going on and
Yeah.
theatrics kind of worked against him this time.
It's true. It happens so often as well. They get caught up in something other than the game. What's interesting is I haven't seen any of this kind of behavior from the pro level today. I've seen it 3 or 4 times now in the senior pro.
5-1.
I think
What is
bantering is half the reason they're out here.
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, and some sound effects as well.
There we go.
All right.
Little theatrics by Mr. Weinbach.
The sound effects coming from these players.
He's had more fist pumps for
Yeah.
a 50 and over than anyone on the planet.
He does hold the record.
7.
I
Yes.
someday hope to get that excited to start fist pumping. I hopefully have a few more years left to try it.
And another timeout is
Timeout
called.
been called by the receiving team. 1
In the
minute.
previous match of Derisi and Thongvanh, I think there was
We're
a total
sparing
of
no one.
nine or 10 timeouts called. It took forever.
Yes, what each team has 2 timeouts per game, correct?
Correct, yeah.
2, 4, 6, 8. Get a lot of timeouts
Yeah,
in a long
you
3-setter.
You can have 12 if it goes 3.
Yeah,
And I think they exhausted all of them in their last match.
and if you get injured along the way, you can add another 15 minutes on it.
Why not? I'd leave the booth, but they can do it if they want.
What's that? have 5.
So we'll be heading back in to proceedings
Dave and Scott have
with
one timeout remaining.
Scott Moore and Dave
Now, Jose
Weinbach
have one
in
timeout
control
remaining.
at 7 points to 5.
Time in, 7-5-1. Point.
Scott Moore is the senior on the court. However, the level of experience he's got in long, drawn-out backhand-to-backhand dink exchanges,
8-5-1.
you can't really put a price on that.
Point.
All right, Moore and Weinbach having a little fun now.
They won that point twice, but only get to keep 1 point for doing so.
9-5-1. Point.
Well, they may be sensing a slight chink in the armor from Derisi. He's missed a couple of cross-court backhand dinks.
10-5-1.
And that looks to be the better side for Derisi right now, at least. With that kind of forehand, why not?
It's a beautiful forehand attack. Top spin volley out of the air.
And that takes care of game 1
Okay, guys, you have up to 2
in this
minutes.
bronze medal senior pro match. It is Weinbach and Moore taking it 11-5.
So I have a question for you, Morgan.
Fire away.
What's the most important game in a pickleball match? The first game or the second game?
Ooh.
If you had to choose, if you're in a match, would you choose to win the first one or the second one? What's more important to you? Just curious.
Well, that is a very good question. For me, I'm a first game kind of guy. I feel like if my opponent does start coming back in the second game, I may indeed have a chance to make the necessary adaptations. But you tell me, roles reversed. First game or second game?
Yes, I have always been a second game person.
Oh, interesting.
Because at least I convinced myself that I have to win the second game in every match I play. So if I've won the first, winning the second's a bonus. If I've lost the first, I get to play a third. So I always go into match thinking that the second one I have to win, and then I'm less likely to lose focus or get down on myself if things don't go my way after the first. So
Interesting. I like
that's
it.
just the way I look at it. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
No.
willing to learn from you.
No, for sure. That's. I think you present some valid reasoning there. For me, I like the idea of being the team that is putting the pressure on, not the team that is being pressured to perhaps come up with something, invent shots to find a way to win game 2. I can play looser if I've got a game in the bag. But food for thought.
Yeah, I will carry on this conversation later on in the match. Maybe after this point, I have a few more things to say on that.
Interesting. Okay,
Game number
let's
2,
do it.
Time in, 0-0-2.
Yeah, Scott Moore still got the reflexes of a mongoose.
1-0-2.
But
Side out.
that ball was way too high from Mr. Weinbach, and he paid the price.
I think he was
0-1-1.
checking Jose's footwork to make sure he was out of the kitchen and forgot to watch the ball.
Second
Probably
server.
should concentrate on his side of the court for a little while.
0-1-2. Point.
Great drive. That's he gets a good amount of top spin
1-1-2.
on that ball. Does the damage.
Wish he could take that one back.
Yes.
He, right in his breadbasket, had his full swinging backhand topspin volley, just didn't end up where he wanted it with his table tennis swing on that one.
Yeah, and I will talk about that in just a moment. And that is, I've got to say, great communication. Possibly from the first time in the match, Weinbach and Moore really calling loud and clear, yous and me's. And they luckily didn't get in each other's way, did their job, but a fantastic rally all round. Beautiful. Fantastic attack there. He earned that high ball from Scott Moore.
He did. It took him 4 or 5 nice consecutive cross-court dinks till he was able to take it out of the air and turn it into an attack.
Yeah, it's in contrast to some of his earlier cross-court backhand dinks. And Tao, beautiful hands there. It's that table tennis background. It's interesting when he plays his backhand drive volley. He doesn't use any real hip and shoulder turn. He fires upwards from the shoulder.
He does have a beautiful wrist flick on his topspin backhand volley. Really drops that tip of the paddle straight down.
It was a good drive, but many players learned a long time ago, if you're going to drive at Dave Weinbach, you better do it from very close to the kitchen and give it everything you've got.
And it still might not work.
It still might not work. Watching Weinbach, I haven't seen him play live for a little while. Looks like he's started to do some real conditioning. He's getting lower than he typically has. He
sure keeps his head down a long time.
Yeah, no, certainly. But he was traditionally a player that stood very tall at the kitchen line, invited attacks, kept his hands low, and usually fended off those attacks very well. But he's looking a little bit more athletic than
moving his feet a lot. I agree.
Yeah, moving around well. And Derisi
just pushed him back a little bit. If he could take that over, he probably would have reached up and attacked instead of moving backwards and letting that ball bounce.
Oh, look at that. Derisi paid the price for a very early attack.
These guys are having a good time out here. It's nice to see. Yeah. All 4 players enjoying themselves here.
Lovely inside-out dink there from Derisi. Something that happens so often if a player gets used to your slice backhand and then has to deal with your topspin forehand, it creates a bit of a timing challenge.
Fought that one off. That's exactly what you said Dave Weinbach is noted for. You know, invite the attack, fights it off, it's his point.
Yeah, he looks so attackable, but he is not. Tao, Thongvanh through the middle. Recognized that Weinbach was heading over to attempt an Ernie, and Scott Moore wasn't quite in position to cover the middle.
1-3-1.
Attempted a similar shot from a position that was ill-advised.
Right, you generally don't want to attack when you're out of position. You want to attack from a position of strength. That was an attempt from Tao to take a quick point. It works sometimes. It's not the high percentage play. I'm very confident that you should never always do the same thing. Just know your percentages.
Well, it's the kind of shot that looks like it was played purely because he had success on a similar kind of ball, however much closer to the kitchen on the previous point. So he's let one great shot affect his shot selection. Oh, and he has called one of the latest timeouts in a service motion history. And
I think I'll have to try that someday.
Why not? I'm surprised that's even legal. I think he had the ball in the air.
We'll have someone from the audience chime in on the computer screen, and
that'd be great.
Find out if it's legal to call a timeout after the player has tossed the ball on their serve.
It's true. Now with the amount of ball tosses we're seeing in the game, where does that leave that conversation? Does the service motion start at the ball toss or when the paddle starts to accelerate?
My guess is the motion starts as soon as the umpire finishes the score. And once the umpire calls the score, I'm going to suggest that you can't call a timeout. I don't know. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I know that's not the current rule, but it's probably not a bad idea.
Well, I think there was a few rule changes in COVID. I guess the rules committee took full advantage of COVID and scripted a whole lot of new stuff.
Yeah, hey, as they should.
Yep.
Times they are a-changing.
Time in. Yes. 4-1-1.
Oh.
Second server.
And that's a heck of a timeout there from the team of Derisi and Thongvanh. Just tagging Weinbach.
1-4-1.
The seniors do have a great way to entertain the crowd.
It's very, very wise of Scott Moore to completely ignore his partner that time, and his Weinbach was extremely happy that Scott chose to ignore him. Having fun now.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until someone loses an eye. Beautiful shot. Thongvanh, he's very new to the Senior Pro Tour, and as such, the players haven't really been able to get such a read on his attacks. So this is a good education.
Side out.
Oh, that's all right. I like you taking that.
1-4-1.
That's good dominant play there from the forehand side of Scott Moore.
Put his wingspan to work there, reaching far into the kitchen to stay on the aggressive edge of the point. He's had some success attacking that forehand last few points. Scott was playing a lot of soft shots the first game, but seems to have chosen the
yeah.
5-1-1.
Oh, he has to work hard to miss that one.
Second server. 5-1-2.
And that ball
Point.
is called long. And a little bit of controversy.
It looks good from there. That's real good.
Okay, well.
I did not see it.
And a referee unable to overrule, so the point will stand. And it is a agree to disagree situation.
Correct. The one thing I know is they will all tap paddles when it's all over, and maybe they'll all go out to dinner and argue a little more.
Why not? Why leave it on the court? Huh?
Scott and Dave have 2 timeouts remaining. Tal and Jose have no timeouts remaining.
And we're heading back in now. 6-1-2 is the score.
Side out. One, 6-1. Second server. 1-6-2.
And Jose Derisi, good disguise.
Right. It was a sort of a massage attack. He chose not to rip it. He just rolled that ball slightly, a massage, right down the middle, in by a long shot. He tried, Jose tried the full swinging body attack that just clipped the net. When you hit it that hard from so close, you know it's not going to go in. You are trying to deflect it off your opponent's chest.
Great movement, great wingspan there from Scott Moore to take that ball in the middle. Still a little bit of bickering between the two. Often the way when two people are so very competitive.
Or maybe they enjoy bickering.
Maybe, yes.
If we interview him afterwards, we're definitely going to ask him about that.
And Derisi had to wait quite a while to let that ball get wide enough to go around the post, but unfortunately then dropped to a level that made it pretty tricky to hit it so hard and keep it in. So we've got 8-2. Derisi having a bit of fun out there.
Yes, he loves that upward power attack.
I'm not sure he had any intention of keeping that one in the court.
The net had a different opinion.
Oh, he went slippery again.
Misdirection, inside out backhand.
2-8-2.
Dave was saying, Tal, you had me.
That's always nice to know. He probably would have had him again.
The Nets playing favorites today, Morgan.
8-1.
Looks that way.
Point.
Ooh.
9-1.
Weinbach exclaiming that that was unattackable. It certainly was attackable. Oh, between two minds, wanted to go around the post. So right here it is 9-2-2. They have
9-2-2.
one serve to get 2 points. And there is the first.
Point.
And that brings up match point for Weinbach and Moore to head towards the gold medal match.
10-2-2.
Now it is target practice.
2-10-1.
All's fair in love and war.
Yours.
Point. 3-10-1.
This is one of the more boisterous matches I've seen.
It is. They're doing half our job for us.
Point.
Great hands there from Thongvanh.
A couple more loose points by Dave and Scott.
4-10-1.
And you may see the banter stop and them getting a little bit more
A
serious.
little more serious, yes.
That's right. We'll see what happens here.
Second server.
One more.
You have 4. Yes.
And the score is 4-10-2.
Point.
Okay.
We'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if another point goes here if we don't see a timeout.
Start out.
Okay. And another match point is upon us.
10-1.
I got it.
Second server.
Unable to convert there, so Scott Moore will have a chance now.
5-2.
Blowing on the ball. Might be good luck.
Start out.
That is a clutch volley.
Come on. One more hold stop, then we finish this.
5-10-1.
Let's go. One more.
Point.
I don't feel we're a million miles away from a timeout. 6-10.
6-10-1.
And there we go.
Morgan Evans,
1 minute.
correct again. You've seen pickleball before.
Yes, we've met. And it's a good timeout. Certainly give your opponents a chance to cool off. They are on a bit of a tear at the moment.
Yes, I believe it's time for Dave and Scott to get back to the basics of pickleball. We did notice a few moments ago a more aggressive outlook from Dave and Scott. That roller coaster has ended, and they might have to go to the fundamentals of sound pickleball and get back to what they did the first game.
Back to basics. Don't forget what got you to the dance.
Big hold out.
You're 1.
We'll see. I know Scott and
15
Dave
seconds. Count
never
and
short
down.
on
No
words
timeouts
to each
remaining.
other. We'll see what they
David
talked
Scott
about.
1 timeout remaining.
See how they come out here.
Time in. 6-10-1.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm
staying aggressive is
That's
Scott
right.
Moore.
Sped it right up.
6-10-2.
And a clash of paddles ends in a floating ball long.
7-10-2.
Go, go, go. Got it.
Oh. And that was a very good ball. He gave Weinbach certainly the width to go around the post. However, it had great depth and pace to that dink as well. Made it very difficult.
Yes. I'll recall it.
8-10-2 is the score.
Out.
Side out.
Go, right here.
And that has opened the door for Weinbach
That-
and Moore to close.
We'll see if they could take advantage of this situation. And
You.
And that's
there it is. Back to the basics of pickleball. A great match, little drama. Oh, yes. The argument
There
is
we
over,
go.
and they're all hugging now.
Everybody's groovy.
Oh, you're all feeling good. You're not questioning each other now. Where are we going to dinner tonight, boys?
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why we love this game. If you can leave it all on the court, you can play this game happily for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So we have Weinbach and Moore heading to the gold medal match to play Gingrich and Witskin. We'll be back with more action from the SoCal Classic from the APP Tour.